Welcome back everyone to Small Talk. I recorded a video this morning on what's going on with the Fed, what Trump had said yesterday, what did Elon Musk say, and what to expect in the stock market. Today I'm going to go over why the stock market is consistently rallying since yesterday. As I mentioned in my previous video a couple days ago, I said that if Donald Trump keeps on increasing tariffs on China, eventually people, once the first quarter earnings come out, people, especially the CEOs of the companies and market analysts and people at the White House whose businesses, whose portfolios are suffering, they are going to put pressure on Donald Trump and they are going to tell him to kind of back off a little bit and start negotiating with the countries whom we very deeply depend upon because of their production and their factories, etc. And China is one of the main provider of lots of products and that we use in our country. So that being said, I also mentioned that the supply chain problem is already starting. It has gone as bad as it was during COVID. So Home Depot, apparently, the CEO of Home Depot told Donald Trump that we only have 1 month worth of supply left in the shelves, and if we don't start working on negotiation on tariffs with China, this is going to have a huge supply chain problems in the country. And that being said, Donald Trump reduced the tariffs from 145% to 50%, which is a huge gap. And that shows that people are trying to have started to put pressure on Donald Trump. And the good thing is that Donald Trump is actually listening to them. Donald Trump is a businessman. He has a habit of negotiating at his own terms, but he doesn't understand, or maybe nobody has made him realize that this country is not your personal business, and you're not only dealing with your own self, you're dealing with the entire country, the economy of the country, the everyday consumer, the CEOs and CFOs of the large institutions, the financial analysts, the stock exchange. Everybody is going to have problem with the policies that you're making, and people are going to start putting pressure at you at some point if you don't budge in. He was expecting that China will come forward and bend knees to him. That's what he's used to and accustomed to. Maybe in the US people have been giving him whatever he wants, because businessmen, obviously, they don't want to have any legal implications on their business. They want to have close ties and good relationships with the president because that's how their business thrive. Maybe the consumers who work for him, or the laborers that work for him, they're willing to negotiate because, as there was a rumor, there were lots of illegal immigrants who worked for him, which he was just paying them basically pennies for the work that they were doing, because otherwise they were in danger of being deported. And he has habit of getting what he wants, but right now this was not possible for him to do. And as I mentioned in my previous video this morning, that China was already had closing ties with all the other countries, and he had started negotiating deals with the other countries if he has this trade war going on with the US. And as a result, China was being even more stubborn to come forward and have a talk. And in the meantime, Donald Trump was waiting for a phone call to take place, and he was expecting this phone call to be initiated by Chinese president, which didn't happen, or Chinese prime minister, which didn't happen. So it's a good sign that he's letting go of his ego, and he's actually listening to the people at the White House, the CEOs of the companies, um, the financial analysts. He's reading the pulse of the stock market, and he understands that people are getting frustrated with his policies, and he's willing to give up his ego, and is willing to step back a little bit. So I guess there are two reasons why he's doing it. He's usually a pretty stubborn man, and he would not go and do anything against his ego, because people say he's a narcissist. I don't know how true that is. Obviously, I don't know him at a personal level. So if he's a narcissist and he's letting go of his ego, it's because he also likes to have popularity as a president. And with all this that was going on, his popularity was decreasing compared to from the time that he was elected. up until now, within this past 40 days, his popularity had declined significantly, which he doesn't like. And I guess that's what kind of got to him, that okay, people are becoming unhappy with me. I am losing my popularity as a president, which means going forward, none of his policies are going to be taken seriously. So he had to compromise either on his popularity or on his ego. So he decided he should just let go of his ego, and it will give him an upper hand on the CEOs and the stock market. And people will say, well, you know, he listened to us, and it will have a positive impact on the economy, on the people, on the CEOs of the companies, and the stock exchange in general. So, and economy ultimately. And I think that's what he did. So for me, that's very bullish, that he's actually listening to people. He's listening to people who are around us, and he's willing to let go of his ego, and he's willing to negotiate with China. The stock market was rallying the first part in the morning, and then later in the afternoon it started declining a little bit. And the reason why it was declining is because investors have realized that this is not a done deal until and unless we sign a deal with China and some of the other countries that we are imposing tariff on. This is gonna keep going, fluctuate, and keep gonna going on. And as I said this morning in my video, that this rally is not to be continued. So whenever there's a rip in the market, it's a good time to sell some of those stocks who went red in the past 2 or 3 weeks since the tariff drama has been taking place. Then you can buy back those companies at a much lower price. And that's exactly what I see in the market. This morning, market rallied. In the afternoon, it kind of pulled back. So I sold two of my positions at a profit this morning. They had gone down a lot. I was in the red. But then with the rally from yesterday and today, they became green, and I made some profit off of it, about 20-25% profit, which isn't bad. And I sold those positions because I know if tomorrow something else comes out of Donald's mouth, it's going to have an impact on the market, and market is going to pull back. So I can buy back those equities at a cheaper price to maximize my profit. So not a personalized financial advice, but I think this market is a good market to swing trade. So you can sell the stocks that you're holding at a higher cost, and then you can buy those same companies back if you really like them at a much lower price. And you can keep doing this multiple times until we have the deal signed with China and with some of the other countries as well. So I think it's a very good market for trading, not necessarily for long-term investing. So long-term investing, I think we're still not out of the waters. We have to kind of wait and see which direction, you know, the policies lean towards, how much China is willing to give up, how much Trump is willing to give up, and how much some of the other countries are willing to work with Donald Trump. Also, Donald Trump said that he's not going to fire Jerome Powell. However, he wants him to lower the rates. But Jerome Powell has been pretty stern, and he said he's very data dependent, and data looks good, and he's not going to basically lower the rates until he thinks it's necessary. Home Depot had the CEO of Home Depot also told Donald Trump that he thinks that he has inflation under control, but if we don't negotiate on the tariff deals with China and with some of the other nations, then there's going to be a supply chain problem, and ultimately the price of the goods is going to go up, which is going to hurt consumer, and our inflation is going to go up again, which means no lowering the rate at all. The rates are going to still stay high. And of course, Donald Trump didn't want that, because he wants the rates to be lowered, because he's hoping that once the rates are lowered, it's like kind of Fed is bailing out the economy, pretty much the damage that he's done. And obviously he doesn't want to have a big damage done, which can't be undone later on. As I said, he likes to be popular. He likes to have this you know, good feedback from people that he is the best president that we've had, and he has done this and that for the economy and for the people of America. So for me, that was a very good sign, because I wasn't expecting Donald Trump to back off that easily. But I think it wasn't that easy. Obviously, if you watched my video 19 days ago, the video that I recorded, in that video I did say that it's going to be tug of war back and forth, and eventually all the countries are going to come forward, and they are going to be willing to work with each other, and they're going to have negotiation. They will come to common terms. But in the short term, I already said that there's going to be lots of volatility in the market and lots of volatility in the economy. So we have to be very wise on how we invest our money. So that's my input for the day. I just wanted to give this quick update so that we know what to do going forward. So try to do swing trade if you can, not a personalized financial advice. That's what I am doing. If you have stocks that you bought at higher price and they are turning green and giving you some profit, 8, 10, 20, 25% profit, it's okay to sell them now, because there is a very well chance that you will have a dip again, and you can buy those stocks at a cheaper cost, and then you can make more profit off of it. So you can keep doing this multiple times instead of just holding on to them, and you can keep making money pretty much every week, every other day, every few days. That's what I am doing. So until Donald Trump settles everything with all the other countries, and particularly with China, because China is a big supplier of our consumer products that we use in our everyday lives, and also in some of the production that takes place in the US at the higher scale. I hope this video helps. Please give my videos thumbs up. I just wanted to share my perspective. Let's see what tomorrow brings. I know there was a live conference call of Donald Trump. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I'm going to go back and read the news, and maybe I'll do an updated video tomorrow morning. But for now, I just wanted to tell you why the market was rallying in the early part of the day, and why it was pulling back a little bit, and what to expect going forward. So this tug of war is going to continue until we come to the proper negotiation. Because even if you think about it, even 50% reduction on tariff on China is obviously still not enough. It's still very significant compared to where we were before. So obviously investors do realize that, okay, maybe we should not go all in. We have to wait until we see what policies are signed and written, and what agreements take place between the two countries. So please be safe, be careful with your investments. Please don't risk any money which you're not willing to lose, because in stock market is a very risky business. Only invest the money they're willing to lose. Give your comments in the comment section below, and share your perspective as well. Share my video with the other family and friends. Stay tuned for my next upcoming video on banking, currency, and finance. I know I have spoken a lot about the problem with the Fed, with IMF, with central bank, and all the stuff, and I was going to record a video to give the solution, but then I got caught up for a month in between. But that video is coming up very shortly, and then hopefully you guys will watch it, and please give me your thoughts. And until next video, take care, be safe out there, and make some money.